balloon and
Hold
airplane.
on. The engineers who made that bridge had to make adjustments for that bridge to go over the curve.
This
Exactly
has already been debunked.
So
it's
hold
so
on.
flat,
So
it's
the,
ridiculous.
Let me ask. So the engineers who built the bridge over Lake Pontchartrain, which I've been over, they're part of the conspiracy to make it curved.
Well, no, engineers never, they don't take into account the curve of the earth. You can talk to any one of them. It does not.
You talked to a lot of them.
I've got a phone number.
Lots and lots of them.
512-834-0937 if you're an
He's
engineer.
He's holding up a picture of Lake Pontchartrain. Look at that curve. Hold that up for Matt. Show everybody.
Yeah, man.
Look at this curve. That's I mean, that's over just a few miles. Wow, the earth is curved. My goodness. So, no, something else is going on here because we know that the earth is not curved.
What I'd like to move to is...
Is it disappointing to know that you never went to space?
Yeah, I know. Man, I spent all that money on nothing?
Yeah.
To be fooled?
You've wasted
or
a ton of
to
dough,
join the Illuminati. To join the conspiracy.
Were you roofied?
So what I find...
for 2 years he was roofied training.
When people have these complicated to construct belief systems that are obviously, reality is internally self-consistent. You analyze things from a wide variety of angles and you'll ultimately come up with the same answers. Anything that is less likely to be true is harder to square all the data together when you take it in totality. Obviously, the vast majority of humanity believes the Earth is round, and the vast majority of them believe the Sun is the center of the solar system, et cetera, et cetera. And so when people make a claim, like, for example, that astronauts are all part of a conspiracy, and therefore I am, for example, part of this conspiracy, which I'm sort of honored to be considered part of, you have to go like, well, okay, well, how big does this conspiracy have to be? Not only is it the 500 people that went to space, but it has to be the tens of thousands of people who helped put them into space.
Their families and friends.
It's Gerald Posner's book about the Kennedy assassination. I used to believe there was a... I sat and watched the movie that Oliver Stone did, and I cried, and I go, oh my God. I read Posner's book, and his sections about conspiracy theory, and how many people would have to be able to keep the secret for it to leak out, and that's why most conspiracy theory is flawed. Not yours, Andrew. I'm talking about all conspiracy theory.
But it also just goes like, think about even our enemies. Why would North Korea and Russia and all these other people, be happy to help keep everybody with the Kool-Aid? They think that their national interests are somehow better served by letting America claim that it landed on the moon, which of course they did also with probes and rovers, including the one I am. It's just the layers to which the conspiracy has to go, including your satellite television providers have to all be part of the conspiracy. Your cell phone providers all have to be part of the conspiracy.
No, they don't. That's ridiculous.
Yes,
why do they have to be a part of it? They're just using the technology.
Using which technology?
They're launching their own satellites. They're launching their own satellites. Well, if they claim they're launching satellites, so you're saying they're launching balloons.
All you have to
but they have to be part of the conspiracy to not admit that it's a balloon.
You just have to have higher ups who are. You compartmentalize all of your departments.
All right, but a quick
people
question.
At NASA that have gone
so
public
everyone who goes to engineering school, they're
has to be part of the conspiracy.
Or they're just being taught the conspiracy, and then they're confused. They're just
everybody's just operating under the assumption we live on a spinning ball hurtling through space, and somehow water sticks to the ball. But what we are saying is that we were taught that at a young age. We are now questioning that. Okay.
Do you believe in gravity?
No.
Gravity is easily explained with buoyancy and density. So an object falls because it's more dense, or it rises and floats because of buoyancy.
Hold on, I have a great question. Okay. So if I remember, the first time you were in here, Andrew, you just said we were taught this from a young age. Don't you have a religious tie-in to this, if I'm not mistaken? Didn't you say that this flat Earth proves there's a God?
Flat Earth, was hidden from people. The number one reason I believe, and many believe, is because if we suddenly learn that we are special, it's flat, it's stationary, everything's close, then we have a creator.
Okay, hold right there. Okay. Let me tell you. So I was taught all through my elementary school up till I was 14 years old that the Bible was real, it was Church of Christ, and at some point in my adulthood, I've realized that it's all malarkey. Right? And I'm breaking away from what I was taught as a child.
And I was not taught that. I was not taught the Bible. I was kind of like in this weird ambiguity. You know, I had a sense of a creator growing up, but it was not taught to me, not pushed on me. My mom, what's your mom? Oh, she's a Catholic.
I got you.
Did she ever go to church?
I
Did
got
I ever
you.
go?
Let's-
No.
let's get back
But
to
if we're under this,
Later on is when I came to the quote unquote truth of the Bible. Okay.
So is the Catholic Church part of the conspiracy?
Oh my God! I mean, the Catholic Church is run by pedophile
We
demons
agree.
at the top.
I agree with you.
Pedophile
Absolutely.
demons at the top.
Absolutely. Not demons, just
Well,
horrible people.
men who are controlled by evil
There
forces
is
and
no
who
such
have
thing as a
it,
demon.
And-
wolves
and-
in sheep's clothing.
And
But
so,
I do want
the
to say
church,
something.
of course, also these days. So you know, in the 1500s, when people realized the sun was the center of the solar system, that was the place where science and philosophy deviated. Prior to that, the church was actually where you went to go seek
Yep.
the truth of all kinds,
Yep.
right? And they did great science, and all the way through that moment in time. And starting at that moment, there was a divergence. And the church is, in recent years, you know, tried to, while retaining some sense of faith, which I don't share, they have simultaneously tried to embrace the self-evident realities that are around us, you know, all the time. And so groups like the Vatican and most large organized religions have their own science groups. There's a Vatican astronomer that happened to be on Penn and Teller's program called Bullshit.
Oh,
And,
yeah, we gotta pop
I got
that.
it.
That's
Okay.
all right.
That's all right.
You were talking about these people who were on the
Penn and Teller's
Penn and
BS.
Teller's BS show, yeah.
BS, yeah, and and they interviewed the church, the Vatican astronomer, and they would ask him, you know, like, you know, most people don't realize that most of the large religious organizations in the country now completely endorse the fundamental aspects of science.
Right.
They try to walk it carefully to make sure they still say faith is fine, but they don't try to argue with scientific reality.
This is a sign for I'm gonna take a couple of phone calls
Okay.
before we wind this
Great.
up, all right? And we appreciate you both being here. Hi, caller, what's up? I don't know why you're all hanging up. Never mind, we're not taking phone calls. Is there anything else, Andrew, you wanted to get out there before?
Yeah.
We got about 6 minutes.
Okay.
There is something I wanted to say to the Christians who are listening. So you're a Christian, you're listening to this, maybe you haven't really looked into flat earth, you're wondering, you're curious. Most Christians, I would say, today, I'm speaking to you Christians listening, you know that the evolutionary Big Bang model was a bunch of BS to destroy our creator, right? Right? Okay. So why would those same people all of a sudden, no, with the shape of the earth, oh, we're good there. They're not lying to us on that. So I want you to really think about that. And there are many scriptures that prove flat, stationary earth. So if you're a Christian, look into flat earth. And there are pastors who have been fired over flat earth. There's a prominent one that just got fired. And there was no discussion. He was well loved by the congregation. They simply said, we found out that you went to a flat earth conference, you're gone. And so there was no discussion of, why do you believe this? Show us why, you know. Can the Bible back it up? Yes, it can. So look into it, look into the Word, and you will be surprised what you find.
I'm still confused by something that you said earlier, but you this localized sun,
Right.
That's like maybe a rear projected or whatever.
Possibly.
So if the sun is not far away and not large, how do you explain something like a Henway?
A what?
A Henway.
What's a Henway?
Oh, about 5 pounds.
He's done that joke.
I knew it. I knew I was walking
See,
into that.
and here's where I have a disconnect with you, Andrew, and I really do appreciate you doing this show because you're interesting. Is you're going on the perception that the Bible is true.
And well, in fact, you use the word.
And the
scriptures
Bible has,
prove.
I don't know the number, but it's somewhere around 400 or 500 contradictions.
So I want to make a point. Look, flat Earth is not. It's something that a lot of atheists discover because they already knew that NASA was full of BS. Okay,
Right.
They already knew we didn't go to the moon. They knew that 9/11 was an inside job by a powerful elite. It was an easy transition to go, what else are they lying to me about? And now does flat Earth match my observations? Oh wait, it does. And so they're seeing the indoctrination, they come to it, and then all of a sudden they go, whoa, they have a moment where they're like, maybe I need to look at other religions, okay? Maybe I need to look at religion and throw out all the religiosity, but get to the heart of the matter. I think we have a creator, because if we're flat and stationary, then something's very amiss, and that's up to each individual person. Flat Earth is not ruled by the Bible, and the Bible's not ruled by Flat Earth, but you do come to a sense of creator when you discover Flat Earth. I don't know of anyone who is a Flat Earther who hasn't kind of had that moment of introspection.
We'll all agree with you there.
Richard, you had something to say.
Yeah,
We'll
well-
start to wrap up here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, and so we said a couple things that are bothersome to me. One was that scriptures prove something. So that when we're having discussion of what is
I was
data
talking
show.
directly to Christians who are coming from a biblical perspective.
And-
That's
but
what I was talking
But the other
to.
thing that you mentioned was that 9/11 was an inside job, and so we were you spent a lot of time saying which conspiracy theories you didn't believe in, like are there aliens or other things.
Yeah.
But you've just thrown out another one that you apparently do believe in, which is the 9/11 was an inside job.
I want to know why Anderson Cooper keeps filming, interviewing, shooting victim
'Cause he's gay.
family members on green screen. That's what I want to know.
On green screen.
Anderson,
Yeah,
Anderson
okay.
Cooper, why do you
But the
keep...
point is, your conspiracy gets wider and wider. For you to, I don't know how
No.
those two things are related, but again, if you're now saying, okay, Anderson Cooper is a part of this conspiracy,
More people.
there's more people and more people and more people and more people. So not only are you arguing against things that literally my children can debunk, having been to the polls, but also that these super wide conspiracies have to include
And his arms are all the way up.
Yeah.
Your children went to the pole. I can go to what's called the pole. It's a stick in the ground in Antarctica. That
Where
doesn't
you
mean it's the
see-
pole.
No, it is if my child sits out there and films a little sequence where we get up at what everybody's watches say is 6 a.m. and the sun is over there. And then we sit down for lunch and the sun is 90 degrees further
Over
down
there.
to the right. And at dinner it's 90 degrees further to the right. And when we get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it's down to the south. And so it goes
okay,
completely around
so
you.
I don't
And we
believe
were there for
I don't
days.
believe
If he
there's-
took you to the south, if he
Hold
took
on.
you to the pole,
Hold on.
no, my show. If he took you to the pole and you saw it with your own eyes, would you then question your theory?
there should be hundreds of videos of the 24-hour sun in the
Videos?
south.
Videos
There literally are what
There
you're talking
literally
about.
are.
You guys are confusing the 24-hour sun videos of the north. Yes, there
No.
are 24 hours because you have a flat disk. The sun in the summer, in the north's summer, the sun is up here. That's why you're seeing it 24/7.
I have twice been to a place called the Amundsen Scott South Pole Base at the South Pole.
Right.
People go there. There's hundreds of people who go there every year. There's
Right.
people who even winter over at the Amundsen Scott South Pole Base, and there's a dozen or two other bases around Antarctica. From all of those places, you see this effect, and from all of those places, people post videos and photos of the 24-hour sun.
Show it to me. Show me the 24-hour
Go
sun.
look online.
This is a time lapse.
That one you can find
There's
yourself.
two. There's two I've seen, and they're both highly
All right.
suspect.
Listen, okay.
Do you understand that
We
you're just the words that you say? You're dangerous.
I've
Like
seen this
I
one.
I like you as a novelty for our show, but like misinformation for our community and our civilization
Right.
is just dangerous.
I mean,
you
I
know,
agree.
and the idea that I don't want to take the time to make myself an expert in a subject. So rather what I would do is I will pick something new, I will change all the rules that we agree on, and then I feel good about myself. I understand your need to feel good about
There it
yourself
is.
There
because
it
someone
is.
has done
That-
something cool
that's
for
like-
you, but
Yeah, that's the South Pole. That's like the one video you can find. If you can find me hundreds or
Okay.
even 10,
All
do
right.
it.
We can find 10 for
Find me
sure.
10. No, you can't.
All right, listen.
you know, I want you
Listen.
to find me. Find me that's
Listen.
a
All right,
nice
listen. I
rolly.
I feel sorry for I feel sorry for people who believe in a lot of conspiracies because it must be like Daniel's head a little bit. Andrew, I appreciate you coming in here.
Thank you.
You're a nice person, and I apologize again for losing my temper last
No,
time
you
you were
didn't.
here.
You did. Oh, last time, yeah, maybe.
Excuse me. What have I done
I-
wrong? Hold on. I've stayed. I haven't talked very much.
Yeah, you've been awesome. I
Okay,
told you,
good.
you've
You're
been
just
awesome.
sitting way up there, that's
But
all.
Okay.
some friends that listened to the last one, they said I came off like the most level-headed person. You
That's
guys
great.
came
Oh,
off
that's
like a
great.
bunch of dumb.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. You might want to look into comedy conspiracy.
No.
Richard, I want to say one thing. You probably shouldn't tell people where your car is parked. They might steal it. Second of all, I'm sorry that you wasted that money going out into outer space. What a dummy.
Yeah.
What a dummy. The new game coming out is Shroud of the Avatar, which will be downloadable, I guess, on all the
It's
platforms.
already downloadable, but you can get boxes on Amazon as of yesterday.
As of
Alright.
yesterday.
Well, I would
Congrats.
like to. Is there
Cool.
is there an Xbox version?
Nope.
No. Okay.
And I know that you said, and I think it might have been off air, that you are doing a Halloween party for your children now.
Yeah.
You are known for, you were kind of legendary in this
Yeah.
town.
Okay.
I'm anxious for your children to grow up a little bit so you can get back to doing
Give us 10 years.
All
and
right,
we can
because
see us here.
all right, I want an invitation.
And I still believe in UFOs. All right, listen, we got to go. Everybody, thank you. We're not
The show's
going.
not over.
We're coming back
Yeah,
and
yeah,
giving
yeah.
away huge
Chill out.
prizes.
We have,
we got another contest from CJ.
We have
Yeah.
3-day ACL passes coming up, and we
And,
have WWE